Good evening, everyone. Are you all ready to hear some mountain folk and coal mine music? Okay. Mr. Joel Smar.
Jay Smar.
Sorry.
No problem. Good evening, everyone. Hello, everybody, won't you sit right down? We're gonna have a good time, so won't you gather round? You'll hear a little picking and this old fiddle too. Sit right back, relax, and kick off the mom shoe. If you hear a good old tune, it'll be a timid fawn. Let it ring out loud and clear, won't you sing along? Like boiling cabbage down, boys, make them hoe cakes round. Only song I can't sing is boiling cabbage down. You ought to see my Cindy, she lived way down south. She's so sweet, honeybees swarm around her mouth. First to see my Cindy, she's standing in the door. Shoes and stockings in her hand, feet all over the floor. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you, Cindy. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. And if I was a sugar tree standing in the town, every time a Cindy passed, I'd shake some sugar down. I took my auntie riding in the cold and winter breeze, put her in the rumble seat and watch my auntie freeze. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, sorry. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Well, good evening again, everyone. Thank you for coming out this evening. My name again is Jay Smar, and I play old-time mountain folk music and bluegrass and gospel, and I was also a speaker for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Humanities Council on coal mining. My grandfather was a coal miner in Schuylkill County, west of here for about 50 years or so forth. So I'll touch a little bit on coal mining here too, but I'd like to remind you in September 22nd, Doreen was nice enough to allow me to come back here to do my coal mining program. And that'll be all coal mining songs indigenous to our area. I'll be bringing some photographs and some books and chronicles, all about the coal mines of our area. So I hope you come back for that one too. We'll start off one that's a little bit more of a generic coal mining tune. And this is one that a guy named Tennessee Ernie Ford made famous. Remember him? Remember the song? 16 Ton, right? And in that song, he says about owing his soul to the company store because, you know, before the unionization of the coal miners came around in our area about in the 1930s or so forth, I'm told, the coal miner wasn't paid in money like you and I got paid in. They got paid in a thing called scrip. And that scrip looked like a little quarter or a little nickel with a number punched through it. And that number meant that that was only redeemable at that coal mine store. So even if the coal miner was out on the town, he wanted to purchase goods at another coal mine store, he could only buy them at the store that matched up with those numbers on there. So you could see where a lot of the strikes and marches got their fueling from this. But also, at the end of the week, you know, when the coal miner, if he broke a pick, if he broke an axe, if he broke a shovel, that came out of his paycheck. So sometimes at the end of the week, when he went to get paid, he actually wound up owing money to the coal mines once again. Anyway, a guy named Earl Travis wrote this. Some people say man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood, skin and bones. A mind that's weak, but a back that's strong. You got 16 ton of what he get. The other day, older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you take me, I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning in a drizzling rain, fighting and trouble on my middle name. I was raised in a Cambridge on an old mud line. Ain't I told mama make me walk the line. You got 16 ton, and what he got? The other day, older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you take me, I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning in the drizzling rain, fighting and troubled on my middle name. I was raised in a Cambridge on an old mud line. Ain't a hot tone mama make me walk the line. You got 16 ton, and what he got? The other day, older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you take me, I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I better step aside. Lot of men didn't and a lot of men died. One fist of fire, the other of steel. If the right don't get you, the left one will. You got 16 ton, and what he got? The other day, older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you take me, I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Thanks very much. Thank you. Well, we'll do a local coal mining song. We'll go up to the city of Hazleton. And north of there, there's a little town called Latimer. If you remember Jack Palance, the very famous actor, he was from Latimer. He had a little turkey farm up there. But back in 1897, the coal miners went out on a march up there. They didn't go out on a strike. In other words, they were still guaranteed of having their job, their employment when they got back. And they were protesting the coal miners' day, the 10 and 12-hour work days, the unhealthy working conditions. You know, a lot of them got a thing called black lung, you know, from breathing the coal dust and so forth. And also the low pay scales. So while they were marching up there, they ran into a sheriff, and this is what happened. 1897, it's a cold September morning. There's something in the air today that's chilling me to the bone. Looking out my shack window up by old number 9, I could see so many gathering as the fall takes its time. Well, there's wives and kids off to the side, and they're waving as they go. There must be 350 of them coming down the road. So I hollered out to one of them, "Hey, what you marching for?" He said, "We're marching out of this town and on to Latimer." Said, "We're marching on for liberty in the land of the brave and free." Said, "I'm sick of living my life like some piece of machinery." He said, "Son, I'm sick of living like some second-class human being. We ain't asking for charity, just a little equality." Well, the fog had finally rolled away and the sun is to its peak. Someone said 10 miles have passed beneath our feet. Well, we come from many countries, yeah, many foreign lands, but we're waving old stars and stripes to show we're Americans. Now up around Hazleton, up stepped old Sheriff Martin. He said, "You're gone far enough, boys, get back to where you come from." But there wasn't no stopping in these men's eyes. You could see right to their souls. Their hearts were filled with freedom and their lungs filled with coal. Said, "We're marching on for liberty in the land of the brave and free." Said, "I'm sick of living my life like some piece of machinery." He said, "Son, I'm sick of living like some second-class human being. We ain't asking for charity, just a little equality." Well, the men marched on to Latimer, believing all was fine. Sheriff Martin, he had 100 men waiting down the line, and they were armed with sheriff rifles. He had deputized every man, yet not a single marcher had a weapon in their hand. Well, the sheriff opened fire, and the flag fell to the ground. It's as if God went deaf that day amidst that dying sound. I ain't never seen nothing like it, and I hope I never do again. It's a sin that a dollar bill weighs more than a man. So for the 19 men that died that day, won't you reach down to your soul? Tell me, who's the real American in this story that I've told? Is it the thugs with the rifles, company badges on their chest, on those who march for freedom and lay in eternal rest? Said, "We're marching on for liberty in the land of the brave and free." Said, "I'm sick of living my life like some piece of machinery." He said, "Son, I'm sick of living like some second-class human being. We ain't asking for charity, just a little equality. We ain't asking for charity, just a little equality." Thank you very much. Well, I was born in a little town called Coaldale. Anybody know where Coaldale is? You ever hear of it? Yeah, it's the capital of Panther Valley, we like to think. Near Tamaqua, that area. And Lansford, right? Panther Valley, the whole area, Summit Hill, Nesquehoning. And it would be directly west of Jim Thorpe, that little valley there. And our whole town is on a hill like that. So it was great for sleigh riding when we were kids. But in my backyard, there was a convent where the IHM, the Immaculate Heart of Mary Sisters, lived. And on a hot summer day, you know, they didn't have air conditioning back then. They would open up these great big windows and they would just blast gospel music at my house. So, and it turned out to be a good thing. So here's an old spiritual for you. You're welcome to sing along. I just kind of slowed it down and made a waltz out of it. It's called Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. I looked over Jordan. What did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels, they was running after me, coming for to carry me home. Swinging low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swinging low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get there before I do, coming for to carry me home. Take along my friends, I'm coming here too, coming for to carry me home. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down, coming for to carry me up, but still my soul is heavenward bound, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me on. Swinging low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home, coming for to carry me home. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole wide world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the little bitty baby in his hand. He got the little bitty baby in his hand. He got the little bitty baby in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. Help me out. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole wide world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got me and you, brother, in his hand. He got me and you, sister, in his hand. He got me and you, brother, in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. Sing it. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole wide world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got me and you, sister, in his hand. He got me and you, brother, in his hand. He got me and you, sister, in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. Last time, got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole wide world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands. Good job. Well, since you did such a good job singing on that one, got warmed up a little bit on it, figure we'll do another one. I'll do an old folk song. I watch a lot of PBS TV and PBS radio. And what's great about it, it's what's on there is determined by us, by the listeners. But we have to support it. And recently there's been a resurgence of folk music on there, and I was watching WVIA out of Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. I do get LVT down here. And they had a tribute to Peter, Paul, and Mary. Remember? Yeah. And Pete Seeger wrote this song for them. It was a big hit for them. Could help again. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, on Bourbon's land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters, over this land. If I had a bell, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd bring out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. And I had a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom. It's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. It's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. All over this land. Thanks, good job. Well, we'll get into coal mining here a little bit. And we had a gentleman in Schuylkill County in the early to mid-1900s named George Corson, who was Ukrainian born, but he lived in Wilkes-Barre, and he migrated down to Pottsville eventually, and he was a journalist there for the still functional Pottsville Republican, but he was looking for coal mining songs that were documented, and you know how folk music is, a lot of it isn't written down anywhere, it's just passed on orally. So he couldn't find any, so he took it upon himself to go to the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and he got a big Army-issue tape recorder, and he traveled out through Schuylkill and Carbon and Lackawanna and Luzerne County, particularly the time of the Molly Maguires. How many folks are familiar with the Molly Maguires? A lot of us are. I'll talk about that in my coal mining program in September, a little bit more in depth. But he had a couple of books out. One is called Minstrels of the Mine Patch, but also in the Kentucky, Tennessee area, they had a gentleman there around the same time frame, early 1900s, named George Tucker, who was very instrumental in organizing the unionization of the coal miners in that region. And not only did he record other people singing coal mining songs, but he himself sang coal mining tunes. And this is called 30-Inch Coal. one of his friends, Mike Paxton, wrote this. And 30-inch coal is the size of the vein that the coal miners had to work in, okay? They had to wear elbow pads and they had to wear knee pads. And you'll hear in the song, Riding on a Lizard into 30-inch coal. The lizard was a nickname for the train in that particular part of the country. Now, most of us have seen documentaries or film footage of coal miners going into a coal mine on a train. They're usually sitting upright like you and I are now. But in 30-inch coal, you lay on your stomach or you lay on your back, and you're inserted into that vein. And that's how you work your 10 or 12-hour shift. I had the pleasure of speaking with a gentleman who was a school teacher in the western part of Schuylkill County near the town of Likens, Williams Valley. And he taught school for 9 months, but for 3 months in the summertime, he worked in his parents' coal mine, and he worked in 30-inch coal. And he said it was that close in there that when he went to take a drink of water from his thermos, he couldn't put it up right in front of his face. He had to tip it off to the side. So if you're claustrophobic, it's definitely not a job for you. But this is from the Kentucky, Tennessee area called 30-inch coal. Grab your pick and shovel and your mining light. Don't forget your fuses and your dynamite. Put on your knee pads and your safety toes. We're going to a coal mine where the coal is low. Riding on a lizard and a 30-inch coal. See the cable sparking, watch your little wheels roll. Oh, Lord have mercy on a miner's soul. Down on your poor knees in a 30-inch coal. Timber up your heading, set the wedges tight, or your wife and your children won't see you tonight. Spread out a little rock dust, spread a little bit more, to keep that coal dust on the mining floor. Riding on a lizard in a 30-inch coal. See the cable sparking, watch your little wheels roll. Oh, Lord have mercy on a miner's soul. Down on your poor knees in a 30-inch coal. Riding on a lizard in a 30-inch coal. See the cable sparking, watch your little wheels roll. Oh, Lord have mercy on a miner's soul. Down on your poor knees in a 30-inch coal. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There were days when I was on top of that. That was before seatbelts came out, I think. Used to duct tape me. I played a lot of bar rooms when I was a kid. So, anyway, talk about when I was a kid. Not too long ago, I did for about 25 or 30 years, I did school programs for children. Primarily for the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. I would bring coal mining songs and stories into the kids who've never even seen a piece of coal. And I would tell them stories such as in the town of Jim Thorpe. I'm sure most of you know where it is or have been there or heard of it at one time. It used to be called Mock Chunk many, many years ago because we had the Lenni Lenape Indians in that region who were also part of the Delaware Indians. So That's why a lot of the towns in our area have lineal napping names. I imagine Catasauqua, maybe, Tamaqua, that sort of thing. But I would tell them about the discoveries of coal, because everybody sort of, not necessarily, they claim to have discovered it, but Native Americans use coal on a small basis, and also blacksmiths use coal on a small basis. But people who were documented with, I'm going to say industrializing it for lack of a better term, in Pottsville was actually the first discovery. That was in, there was a gentleman there named Necco Allen, who the story goes, he was out camping overnight and he made a fire and he woke up the next day and the fire was still burning, but there was no wood. It was stones. And then in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area, there were two brothers called the Smith brothers. And then in the region where I'm from, Panther Valley, made up of Lansford, Coldell, Summit Hill, Nesquehoning, Lake Hotto, there was a fellow named Philip Ginter who also was out hunting, and it was raining pretty profusely. He was on his way home, and he accidentally kicked his rock, and he heard stories from the Native Americans that there was this rock that burned. So he took it home, did some experiments, and found out that it was the anthracite coal. But I'll leave the rest of the story for the coal mining program. But I would tell them stories about that, and also about the train that they used to haul this coal away. It was called the Switchback Railroad. In the town of, it connected, it came from Summit Hill and went down to the town of Jim Thorpe. It was like a big figure 8. And anyway, at the bottom of the hill, after it would come down there through gravity, they would put it on boats and barges, ship it to Philadelphia. But I don't want to give the whole story away. But anyway, this long train, a gravity railroad, is where they invented the first roller coaster from. Some of the things that came from the coal regions, the big bands, musicians, the Dorsey brothers, the King brothers, Les Brown. Les Brown is Banner Renown. Les Brown was from the Pine Grove area, so I would tell the kids stories about that. But I also would tell them stories about other people, and this is a story about a guy, his name, we're going to go back to 1814 for this song, and there was a guy named Jimmy Driftwood, and he was a history teacher in Oklahoma. And sometimes his students would have trouble learning their history lessons, so he would write a poem about it, because, you know, you tend to memorize things better in poetic form than you do in paragraph form. So they were studying the War of 1812, and the kids just weren't getting it. So he wrote this poem, but he didn't have any music. So he hunted around. I guess he went to square dances, maybe, heard these tunes, and he heard this one tune called the 8th of January, and he figured, maybe my music might work for that. So he put this music to it, and it worked perfectly. And a guy named Johnny Horton recorded this back in the 60s. It's called The Battle of New Orleans. In 1814, took a little trip along where Colonel Jackson died on mighty Mississippi. Took a little bacon and we took a little beans. Caught the bloody British in that town in New Orleans. Fired our guns and the British kept coming. Wasn't that many as it was a while ago. Fired once more, they began to run it down in Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We looked down the river and seen a British come. Must have been 100 of the beating on a drum. Stepping so high, made the bugles ring. Stood beside cotton bills, I didn't say a thing. Fired our guns and the British kept coming. Wasn't that many as it was a while ago. Fired once more, they began to run it down in Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. And they ran through the fire, and they ran through the brambles, and they ran through the bushes where a rabble wouldn't go. Ran so fast, towns couldn't catch them. Down in Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, take a reset, I could take him by surprise. Hit by a musketeer, looked him in the eye. Held up fire till he seen their faces well. Opened up a squirrel and it really gave him heck. Fired on guns and the British kept coming. Wasn't that many as the ones a while ago. Fired once more and they began to run it down in Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We fired a cannon till the barrel melted down. Grabbed an alligator and we fought another round. Failed us out with many bows, potted us behind. When we touched a potter off, the gator blew his mind. Fired our guns and the breeze kept coming. Wasn't as many as it was a while ago. Fired once more and they began running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. And they ran through the fire and they ran through the brambles and they ran through the bushes where a rebel wouldn't go. Ran so fast, hounds couldn't catch him. Down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Thank you very much, Jimmy Driftwood. Well, I mentioned before my grandfather was the one that was the coal miner in the family, and his name was Krakovich. We were Slovak, so you know, up in the coal regions, everybody sort of has nicknames for everybody, so his nickname was Cracky, you know? Most of the people that I grew up with, I didn't even know their real name until their funerals, really, until their obituaries. We just knew them by first name basis. So anyway, this is a tune a little bit about him. Most mine bosses were German and Welsh, I was told, by Chester Kalesa. He was the head site administrator at the Lackawanna Coal Mine Museum up in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area. And he said that they were German and Welsh due to the fact that they were some of the earlier Europeans that migrated over here. And some of them already had some proper education in proper coal mining, I guess you could say, just a little bit. So they figured they'll make them the boss. So if you're any other minority, you kind of had to start at the bottom and work your way up. But you could only go so high, and that was due to your ethnicity. And it wasn't until I was told that the unions came around again in the 1930s, Johnny Mitchell and so forth, got the unions going, that they finally figured that a lot of the other ethnicities had enough education and experience. Because, you know, a lot of the Europeans didn't know how to mine coal. Like I said, a couple of them did, but they knew it was going to be a steady job, and they could work, and they could send money back home to bring people here to the new country, to the United States of America. So that's what they did. So it wasn't until the 1930s that they let them become coal mine bosses. And this is a song, a little bit about him trying to raise his family on a coal miner's pay, my mother being one of his 3 daughters, and I'm very happy for his sake. In 2017, this was nominated for Traditional Song of the Year by Just Plain Folk out in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's called I Am an Old Coal Miner. I am an old coal miner working these mines a day. Now how can I feed my family on hardly any pay, on hardly any pay? I come here to this country, a boy of 12, no man, to work as a slave picker, someday to be boss man. I dream of be boss man. Little house that got me on land up by the mine, and when I get my wages, take they their share of mine, take they their share of mine. My children don't complain much, although long is the day, chores from early morning, they have no time to play. I pray for them each day. Wife, I love her dearly. She works all day at home, 9 times stitching torn clothes, morning up at dawn. I love her oh so long. And since my name Krakovich, no boss man will I be. To boss you must be German or Welsh, and that's not me. No Czech and boss man be. meadow coal miner. And in these mines I'll die, black lung kills you slowly. God bless my girls and wife, give them a better life. Thank you. My grandfather thanks you too. Grown up, how many folks grew up in little small towns? A lot of you know how it is there sometimes. I mean, the town I grew up in, we didn't have a red light. We just got stop signs put in a little while ago. We got fancy. But it's nice. You know, there's pros and cons to that. You know, there's like one grocery store and that sort of type of thing. You know the deal. But trying to find somebody to teach you guitar, especially one that's supposed to be on. That's why I bring two guitars. So growing up in a little town, when you don't have one guitar, we'll try this on, see if I could play this on this guitar. Trying to find someone to teach you was pretty challenging. So I used to come down to the Slatington area. There was a gentleman there who was a school teacher. His name was Carl Trollinger. And I was 19 years old, and we were, you know, talking about times back then. Everybody was running around wearing cowboy hats, you know, singing the nitty-gritty dirt band songs and so forth, which was good. So I wanted to play guitar, and this gentleman was an outstanding jazz guitarist, and he taught me all these chord melodies. So he taught me to appreciate them. But where are you going to play them in 1970? I mean, in the coal regions. I mean, you know, there's two kinds of music there. There's heavy metal and there's polkas. That's about it, you know. So anyway, but he taught me stuff like this. I'll try this on. This is a melody from the 1700s. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, when I moved to Harrisburg, it was a whole new thing for me. It was great. There was so many good musicians in many different genres. So I started listening to a lot of the old finger-style guitars. You remember we did the song 16 Ton that Merle Travis wrote, and he more or less developed this finger-picking style that I enjoyed, doing the bass and the melody at the same time. But there were a couple other, Merle Travis took it to a wider audience, but there were a lot of other people that were very unknown down in the South. A lot of them were African-American cotton pickers and so forth. The one was Reverend Gary Davis. Another one was Mississippi John Hurt. And there's still an argument to this day on who really came up with the finger-picking style of country music. So we're going to do this old Mississippi John Hurt song, and he sings a lot about his lady friend down in Louisiana. Her name is Creole Belle. Isn't that a nice name? I thought it was really nice. It's a really easy sing-along. You'll get it. My Creole Belle, I love her well. My darling baby, my Creole Belle. When the stars do shine, I'll make her mine. My darling baby, my Creole Belle. Got a house in the country, a big old garden out back. Blues on the Victrola, what do you think of that? My Creole Belle, I love her well. My darling baby, my Creole Belle. Your turn, ready? My Creole Belle, I love her well. I love her well, my darling baby, my darling baby. My Creole Belle, when the stars do shine, when the stars do shine, I'll make her mine, I'll make her mine, my darling baby, my Creole Belle. Got a lot of gumbo, likes it good and hot. She makes good gumbo, I likes it a lot, but I love her more than words can tell. My darling baby, my Creole Belle. Here we go. My Creole Belle, I love her well. I love her well, my darling baby, my darling baby, my Creole Belle. When the stars do shine, when the stars do shine, I'll make her mine. My darling baby, my Creole Belle. My darling baby, my Creole Belle. Good job. So that's called finger picking. And I'm going to do a thing now called flat picking. And what flat picking is, you use a flat pick. And the gentleman that came up with this, or I should say made it popular, there were a few people before him. He was a blind musician from Deep Gap, North Carolina. His name was Doc Watson. And he was married, and he had a son and so forth. So he had, although being blind, he still wanted to make a living for his family, feed his family. So he would go to square dances to play, and sometimes, how many folks used to go to square dances? Anybody? They were fun, weren't they? A lot of cool, a lot of fun exercise. And he'd go there, and sometimes, those of you who haven't been there, you know, there's not a designated band. It's pretty much whoever shows up gets to play. And he said sometimes he'd go there and it'd be all guitar players. So there's nobody to play the melody. So he decided to learn these fiddle tunes on the guitar, and we're very happy he did. So I'm going to do an old Irish tune for you. We have any Irish folks in here? Happy belated St. Paddy's Day to you. So this is an old tune, and it has two names to it. A lot of these old-time tunes, it depends upon where you perform them at, that determines what they're called. So one song that I performed called Soldier's Joy has 43 different titles. I guess they couldn't make up their mind. But I was told if it's performed down south, it may be called Soldier's Joy. If it's performed up here, it may be called I Am My Mama's Darling Boy, or 41 other different titles. So this is called a teetotaler's reel, but it's also called temperance reel. It was BYOB. Well, I always end up my programs with a little bit of flat-foot clogging. Thanks, Doc. I'll stop. Don't. I had to take a nap this afternoon for this part of the show. So, anyway, I mentioned about George Corson recording coal miners in our area, and in his books called Minstrels of the Mine Patch, he mentions that some coal miners were musicians and would grab a piece of sheet metal from the local coal mine, and they will go from coal patch town to coal patch town, throw it on the ground, and do a little bit of flatfoot clogging, fiddling, and singing for food or clothing or a night's lodging. And he even names about a dozen of them that would do this. The thing is, there's also a series of books called Pennsylvania Profiles by Patrick Reynolds down the Lancaster area, and he highlights more or less something that made an impact on Pennsylvania in the history, and he did one section on the coal miners, and he also mentions about 12 of them that would do this due to the Scots and the Irish that came over here and brought some of their culture with them that we're very happy about. But I also, for many, many years, and still am a big John Hartford fan. Those of you not familiar with John Hartford, remember Glenn Campbell, right? John Hartford wrote Glenn Campbell's theme song. And those of you us who used to watch Glenn Campbell, sometimes John Hartford would appear on there. He was a tall, thin gentleman. He had curly hair and he played banjo, but he played festivals. He would play Godfrey Daniels here in Bethlehem. Music Fest and so forth, and he did this clogging, fiddling, and singing, a very complicated step, and while he played fiddle, and then when he played banjo, and also when he played guitar. And he was a steamboat captain down in Missouri, so he wrote a lot of songs about steamboats and so forth. So I'll end up this program with a little bit of flat-foot and fiddling and singing, and we'll do one last tune, and I know you're on your edge of your seats waiting to sing along again one last time. So this song is called Turkey in the Straw. It's a heavy hit till today, yes it is. And if you want to help me out with that, if you would, when I sing Turkey in the Straw, you would reply, ha ha ha. When I sing turkey in the hay, you sing hey, hey, hey. Okay, so turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. All we ask is please, please try not to be hey, hey, hey when you're supposed to be ha, ha, ha. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks for allowing me to play for you. Come to my website. It's just jsmar.com. Thank you, Doreen, for the shot. Oh, I'll be back here September 22nd. I'll be doing all the coal mine program, and I'll be bringing some photographs and so forth. And then I'll be back in November doing my Christmas show, I think. Okay. So that'll be totally different, too. So I hope you come back. Anyway, John Hartford's Long Hot Summer Day, and then Turkey in the Straw. Gonna pick up some of these empties here just as soon as we know where they lay. Tired of it up, jolly and even lines on a long hot summer day. For every day you work on the Illinois River, get a half a day off and pay. Oh, double making the barges on a long hot summer day. Last night we had pork for supper. Today be chicken consomme and a fruit jar full of iced tea on a long hot summer day. For every day you work on the Illinois River, get a half a day golf and pay. Oh, double making the barges on a long hot summer day. Every day you work on a little Illinois River, get a half a day golf and pay. Oh, double making the barges on a long hot summer day. As I went through the old cornfield, black snake tickled me by my heel. I turned around to do my best, rub my head in a hornet's nest. Mules gone lame, the hens won't lay. Corn's way down and the wheat don't pay. Hogs are low and the steers are cheap. Cows quit milking and the milk won't keep. Turkey in the straw, ha ha ha. Turkey in the hay. Oh, but then the mother and ma played little too. Got the turkey in the straw, turkey in the straw. turkey in the hay. Oh, buck down to the mother-in-law, play a little tune for the turkey star. The coast too high, the coast too low. Freight stubble got nothing to show. Money is tight, morals is loose. They're bound together, so what's the use? Hurricane come and this was done. Swallowed the lamb, my house was on. Tax collector, come around. Charge me rates on a hole in the ground. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Oh, buck down to the mother-in-law, play a little tune for the turkey straw. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Oh, buck down to the mother-in-law, play a little tune for the turkey straw. Thanks, everyone. Put your hands together one last time. Help me out. I just see Miss Cindy, she lives way down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. First I see Miss Cindy standing in the door. She's in stockings in her hand, feet all over the floor. Thank you, everyone. See you in September. Have a nice summer. Thanks for letting me play for you. Thank you, Miss.
Wasn't this fun? And what a great way to learn history. Let's give him a big hand.